I recently had a Facebook connection ask me this question online, and instead of just giving her my answer, it made sense for us to use this as one of our group therapy discussions. Here's the issue. I've had the same title for 14 years, and my salary is limited by my title. Do I have to leave the company I love? Now, as you can imagine, we had a lot of input into this, as many of you can relate to it. This is why group therapy is so good. We've had many opinions and many viewpoints to consider. Nadine Strubant from Brussels in Belgium summarized what many of you mentioned online. Nadine asks, why leave if you love it? There might be a possibility for growth or for a raise. Talk to your boss or HR. If you don't ask, no one is going to spontaneously offer you anything. We had many suggestions to have an open and transparent discussion with your executive or with HR. Maybe things are going on that you haven't been made aware of yet, and that may convince you to stay. Sherry Moen from Des Moines, Iowa wonders if you love the work you do. Are there other responsibilities that you could take on that would change your job title and salary? To add to Sherry's comments, if you don't love it, then yes, it is time to move on. But if you do love it, perhaps you can be able to take on more tasks that might get you reclassified. Lisa Olson Tilley from Napierville, Illinois, shared that she assumes that your responsibilities have changed over the last 14 years, which I also would assume. Can your company reclassify you with a different job title that more accurately describes the work and therefore move you into a different salary bracket? Maybe it is time to look at what you are actually doing versus what they think you've been doing. You've likely broadened your skills over the last 14 years without even realizing it. Brian Smith from St. Catharines, Ontario says that if you want to be paid more, you have to take on more responsibility. Brian's example, a cashier is a cashier regardless of how long they've worked there. You don't get paid more for hanging around. So what skills will you need to learn to be promotable? What books, what workshops, what online training can you take? If you can't move up where you are, then you might have to look elsewhere. Laura Thewalt from Houston, Texas says that looking at other jobs is worth exploring. Laura says that maybe the question is part of ripening for growth and realizing that the work that you do matters more than the salary you're paid. But if you need more money, because that's real, looking elsewhere helps you get it by moving or realizing that you actually are well paid, and that satisfaction is never a bad thing. Kim Picard from Embrun, Ontario advises you to develop a case for why you should have a new or different title and a pay increase and arrange a meeting with your boss. If you don't ask, you don't get, as many of us have said. And if you like your job, stay with your job. Lori Lockery Granger from Lloydminster, Saskatchewan says that she would make sure that there truly is no way that you can move up in your department. If you can't, you have to consider all the benefits you have, such as how easily it is for you to duck out when you need to, for like when the cable guy comes or you've got a sick kid at home without getting the third degree. Do you have fun and do you feel valued, as those are the things that are valuable and could convince you to stay? Good points, Lori, as perks like that don't come with every job and they're worth something for sure. Carrie Middlestad from Edmonton, Alberta asks to identify what the key issue is for you. Is it the money that you are paid for the work that you do? Are you bothered by your title? Are you concerned with the perception of being stagnant? Find out what the specific part is your issue and then deal with that specifically. And Kathy Hairston from Mississauga, Ontario says that when you've done everything mentioned already here and there is still no movement, it is time for you to consider other options. I appreciate all the good advice shared by everyone. And if you are in the same boat, I hope that this week's group therapy gives you some good ideas to help you. And good luck.